Welcome to Main Street Media TV, the public square. My name is Katie Farthing, and we are here live with the broadcast of the Lancaster City Council meeting. Give us just a few moments, we'll have a brief break, and we'll be right back.
Proudly sponsored by Graceland Air, from heating and AC repair to indoor air quality services.
Bob Allen is Danville's Dealmaker. Save more on Bob Allen's winning selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. Shop on lot or online at boballenmotormall.com. Bob Allen is a proud sponsor of Garrett County Athletics.
Here we believe in more than just banking, we believe in building legacies.
We're here to walk alongside you, on the fields, in the stands, and in life.
Supporting Garrett County Athletics means investing in our future leaders.
First Southern National Bank, financial wisdom, flourishing lives.
Allison is hiring. Big benefits, real growth, and a team that sees you in our future. Apply now. On Facebook, give us a call or just stop in. Allison Abrasives. Opportunity starts here.
The Garrett County Chamber of Commerce, where business meets community. Business and community members alike can get involved, stay informed, and take advantage of helpful insights. Supporting local means a healthier community. Sound good? Then the Garrett County Chamber of Commerce is for you.
At Danville Office Equipment, schools and businesses, large and small, count on us every day, and so can you.
We're proud to be your trusted partner, providing office solutions and supplies built on service, a smart approach, and great teamwork. Danville Office Equipment, Danville, Lebanon, and Somerset.
At Farmers National Bank, our roots run deep in this community, cultivating opportunities and personal and business growth with people you know and know what's important to you. Farmers National Bank, your lifetime bank.
Faces you know, a name you can trust. Weichert Realtors, Ford Brothers Auctioneers. From auctions to dream homes, farms to business properties, no one knows the area better. Weichert Realtors, Ford Brothers Auctioneers in Lancaster can help you.
Welcome to Katie Farthing State Farm,
where personal service is alive and well.
Not just a policy, help when it matters most.
So, what can we do for you? Your needs, your coverage, Katie Farthing State Farm.
Buy local, eat well at Marks Berry Farm.
We're growing and we need you.
Great people.
Great job.
Come be part of our exciting future.
Come taste for yourself or shop online. See our story at marksberryfarm.com.
At Central Kentucky Federal Savings Bank, we understand the meaning of commitment, hard work, and extra effort. Just like our Golden and Lady Lion teams, we're proud to be part of the tradition that makes our community special. Central Kentucky Federal Savings Bank, your hometown friends, your hometown bank.
Safe, secure, Docubit. Introducing DataBot, a precision digital destruction tool that protects your confidentiality and allows for sustainable device recycling. Secure document and digital destruction by the area's premier data protection service. Call Docubit.
Nothing beats the hometown taste of Lee's famous recipe in Lancaster. Go Lions!
Central Kentucky Ag Credit, your hometown team for farm, land, and operating loans. And yes, we're your home loan lender too. Buying or building your dream home in the country? We've got you covered. Find us online at agcreditonline.com.
Choosing the right realtor is like sinking the winning shot or scoring the game-winning run. If you're buying or selling real estate in Garrett or Central Kentucky, give me, Whitney Ellis, a call for the win. Good luck to the Golden Lions and Cougars this season.
Sutton Pharmacy.
Free delivery, easy in and out vaccinations, locally owned. Now that's what I call a hometown pharmacy.
Sutton Pharmacy. Friendly service from people you know.
Founded by Kentuckians for Kentuckians. At Whitaker Bank, we believe strong communities start with people who care. Everyday banking to planning for your future. You can trust our team to reach your financial goals. Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky. Member FDIC.
You're watching the Golden Lions Sports Network.
Welcome to Main Street Media TV, the public square. My name is Katie Farthing, and we are here live with the broadcast of the Lancaster City Council meeting. Give us just a few moments, we'll have a brief break, and we'll be right back.
Proudly sponsored by Graceland Air, from heating and AC repair to indoor air quality services.
Hey Mark, did you want to say our prayer tonight? Sure. Thank you. Just, yeah. I wasn't really clear, sorry. Just a minute. Yeah, he's coming. All right, I've got 6 o'clock. Chief Hughes, if you don't mind, get our switch for us. Again, welcome everybody. Thank you all for coming out to our meeting this evening. All the council members are here. Teresa, if everybody don't mind, Mr. Smith, if you don't mind to lead us in a word of prayer this evening.
Thank you, Jesus, for letting us gather tonight in your name and just building freely as a community to discuss the business of the community, of the city. We ask that you give the council discernment, integrity, patience with each other, honesty, as we do the business of the city in every way. We ask all this in your name, Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, sir. Chief Hughes, if you don't mind, if everybody stand and lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, sir. All right, has the council had a chance to look over the minutes from the last 1, 2, 3 meetings?
Can we approve all 3 at once?
We sure can.
I'll move to approve all 3 meetings.
All right, there's a motion. Is there a second? Second. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all. Have you all had a chance to look over the financial report from last month?
Yes, I'd like to make a few observations if I could.
Okay.
At the end of the year, I mean, on the general fund, I know that we went over a budget, we had a little extra income. So we ended up with, in the general fund, $27,000.
We did.
But 2 departmental funds under that, what's in the red, $178,000. And then our 2 utilities, they went in black, $27,000. So, you know, that was pretty interesting, I thought.
Yeah, so as a whole, we were in the black $152,000 for this fiscal year end. Last year we were roughly about $50,000, so we increased there. But yes, I have been speaking with our department heads within general and all of our departments as far as continuing to tighten up even more as we move forward this year to make sure that we're staying as close to budget as possible.
Not on the agenda. Is this the time to discuss the audit, or where we stand on that?
So we've reached out again today. We've been reaching out every couple of weeks and just seeing where we're at there. As we've discussed before, we put in a request to Department of Local Government on an audit extension. So unfortunately, we don't do our own audit, which is a good thing, but our auditors, they're so busy, all auditors are so busy, and the ones that we are using have not completed our audit yet. So per KRS statute, you can actually go 18 months after your fiscal year ends in order to get your audit complete. But the extension we put in was for 6 months, and last we were hearing, probably the August timeframe, we should have our audit complete for fiscal year 24-25.
Can we correct that next year, get started earlier or anything?
So last year, we started as quick as we could start with our, so we have two different companies that come in. One comes in and gets a lot of the information together, and then they submit a report to the auditor. So we start that as soon as they're able to start it. So that's not on a city perspective, that's on when the auditors can get to it.
We're still waiting on the 24-25 audit.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which is what we put in the extension for, which DLG allows that per KR statute. But yes, as soon as I know more and when that is going to be completed, I will pass that along and let you all know. Absolutely. Any other questions on the financial report? All right, again, I think we, coming in where we came in, finished the year about $152,000 in the black, increasing over last year. I think that's a good spot to be and continue that way. I think we're in a good spot to keep moving. So if no other questions, do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all. All right, I do have community presentation on here. And no one signed up for community presentation, but I do know a few people signed up for public comment outside of who's here tonight. So I see Ms. Klusner, who's here, and then Ms. Williams with the library. So you ladies, whichever one of you all would like to go first. Ms. Klusner, I'm assuming you still wanted to speak, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I called you out, so if you don't mind, come on up to the podium up here and let us know how we can help you this evening.
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Kathy Klusner, for those who don't know me. My husband and I have lived in Lancaster for more than 50 years. And we both thank God that he called us here many years ago. I'd like to thank Mayor Gaffney and Brandon for giving me the opportunity to come tonight and share. I thank you, the council and mayor, for your dedication and service. I know you do a lot of work, and the city of Lancaster is better because of each one of you, and the work that you do does not go unnoticed. To the police department, a huge thank you, as you work tirelessly each and every day to keep all people in our community safe. You are truly heroes in my book. Two areas that I'd like to address tonight. My husband and I have lived on Danville Street for more than 45 years. It's been a great place to raise children. I want to thank Mayor Gaffney for some of the signage that has gone up recently. Appreciate that very much. As we all know, traffic in Lancaster continues to grow. It's great to have a direct access to 75, but with that comes concerns as far as traffic, especially on Danville Street. That's a highly traveled road. Buses, trucks, semis, utility vehicles, and cars. And we've seen significant growth over the years. My oldest son, years ago, had a concern. And he was about 10 years old. And he reached out, he was concerned about our neighbors, the Howards. Wonderful couple, elderly. And they would cross the street, Danville Street, to go and to check on their garden every day. And our son said to us one day, "Mom, I'm worried about them trying to cross Danville Street. I'm afraid they're going to get hit." So I said, "What do you want to do?" "Well, I want to do something." I said, "Well, Mayor Moss, he has, his ears wide open. He's willing, I'm sure, to listen to you." So my son wrote a letter to Mayor Moss, and he was thrilled when he got a response, but it wasn't the response he was looking for. The response was, "That's a state road. State makes the decisions." I hear that's the same today. The same today. So I come today to share some thoughts. Because it is, sometimes, you know, you hear about an accident waiting to happen. You know, we see that, whatever happened the other day, I wasn't in town that day, at Quick Stop with the lights. Whatever happened that day, I don't know, but the lights are now down. You see the abundance of traffic that is picked up with the schools. You see school buses come down York Street, trying to get on Danville Street. So with that, some thoughts, especially about town itself. I can't ask for a better place to live. You know, I grew up many, many miles from here, if my accent doesn't give that away. But Lancaster's our home. And I know safety is one of the core values of the council and the police department. And so it's safety that I raised a question about today. And that's about the speed limits in town. Looking at things, especially Danville Street. People come from Danville, they hit Quick Stop, woo, gotta stop, gotta slow up, it's 35. People come from town, hit that road, and all of a sudden you realize the speed limit is being exceeded. And some near misses happen, people pulling in and out of their driveways, kids on bicycles, whatever else it might be. So those are the things that I wanted to share with you tonight. Again, I've been in touch with Michael over the last 3 years about some of the things that maybe something can be done. We talked about, I brought up signage about 3 years ago, just children at play. And Michael shared with me at that time that insurance wouldn't cover that, nor do they find that having a sign like that is helpful in most instances. Okay. Alrighty, so what is the answer to it? What is it more signage? Is it, I'm not about people getting tickets. I'd like to prevent that. I'd like to prevent that. But I do feel safety is utmost important. So, and again, I'm talking about all of the area around town. And with that, is an idea that, let's find my paper, if we looked at some of the roads in town, when you're coming from Danville, it goes from 45 to 35 until you get to the post office, it turns 25. And I do appreciate those signs you put up, 35 miles an hour. But I'm wondering if it needs to be lower on the speed limit. And 35 mile an hour is not on Danville Street, but throughout the town, coming into town, 30, change it to what is now 45 coming in, change that to 35, the 35 to 30, and keep the 25 to 25. Another area is near McDonald's. I used to work in when Cap was here years ago, the old Colonel Motel. And coming up that lane one day, going down 27, car came right into our building because they were trying to go around, and instead the car went right into the building. And people do that when you open up that double lane and you've got that curve going this way. And I noticed that right there at McDonald's, it's 45, and then it switches to 35, and then at Hagen Court it switches to 25. Possible to lower the speed limit there at McDonald's. On 27, when you come by the Catholic Church, it's got a sign 35, that's great. But then you go up a little further, and you can see that 45 right there at McDonald's before you go around the curve. Why not move that out a little bit further north so that people aren't already hitting that throttle when they're thinking, all right, I see 45 up there, it must be clear. You've got a daycare, you have a church, you have McDonald's. There's a lot happening right there. And there's a distillery back there, right? A lot of things happening right there. And again, I really am grateful for Mayor Gaffney putting up the signage, but I also realize it's just not Danville Street. And if the speed limit was a little lower, people would have an opportunity to look at our beautiful town as more and more people are coming through every day, every single day. And why not allow that to happen? And maybe they'll even pull over and stop a little bit more. So the signage is appreciated, but as far as the speed limit, I'd like that to be looked at closer. And the other thing about it is, you council members are much smarter than I am. I'm just a citizen who appreciates our town, just like each one of you, trying to say, well, it's just not on the council, but what are some ideas? What are some areas that can be looked at? And solutions, finding solutions, working together to do that. But those are areas I'd like to suggest tonight. The other area is the pedestrian light up in town. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. I thank you for that pedestrian light at each of the 4 quadrants to be able to give pedestrians an opportunity to cross safely. Our town that's new to our town, to have that pedestrian light right up on the square. And what I see is, you got Mr. Smith waiting on the sidewalk to cross. And Mr. Smith has to wait for the traffic, because a lot of times people think they have, in the car, have the right of way. But that's not Kentucky's way. Kentucky's way is yield to the pedestrian. And many towns throughout the state and throughout our country have that. You have those signs up, yield to the pedestrian. So, I'm grateful it's there, those signs. I'd like to see it tweaked a little bit. And with that would be yield to pedestrians. It's the law, or some verbiage similar to that. Because right now there's no buttons to push, and it's a very awkward place. I mean, I understand, but I am so grateful that pedestrians have an opportunity to be recognized when they're walking in the square. So that's the other part, just being able to look at the verbiage. Should there be more on there? Because like I say, you come around, you come up, you're heading north and you take a left down Danville Street, and all of a sudden the car stopped to let a pedestrian go across. I know it's like, whoa, be careful, because people go fast. But if the speed limit is changed to begin with, as they come in to town, maybe it'll make it a safer area. So, again, a huge thank you for those stop signs on Maple Street by the school. I was thrilled when they went up, and you gave people plenty of time to get used to it and have warnings rather than a ticket. And I really appreciated that for our town. And I appreciate the pedestrian signs, just looking at some tweaking. And then as you look at the city as a whole and people coming in, just really being able to look at that and see about how quickly they're coming in to be able to make our town a little safer and perhaps a little bit more enjoyable if people will stop and want to do a little shopping.
Thank you. Appreciate you being here.
Chief, is
Laura?
there any way to increase the warnings that we put out on Danville Street for a little while so that people see a police presence?
You mean to stop more cars?
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
I think we can stop more and not, like, you don't have to get tickets.
I couldn't count how many they stopped today on Danville Street. The issue becomes, it may not be quite as visible how many get stopped, because it's not a safe place to make a stop going out of town to get precision court. Matter of fact, they got 9 ounces of methamphetamine and a bunch of heroin off at a stop on Danville Street just first thing this morning. But I mean, we can give warnings instead of tickets, I suppose, more. But we've had quite a bit. Danville Street is a very hot topic. To your point, people drive ridiculous, especially going out of town, more so than coming in, it seems like. But yeah, it's a very common thing. But yeah, absolutely.
I'm just wondering why the state took down the 35-mile-an-hour speed limit in front of Whitaker Branch Bank here a couple of weeks ago.
So I'm really not clear, the state doesn't consult with us or the city when they remove any of their signage. I was aware of some directives they had where they had it on both sides of the street, that because of what the speed limits are, it's not required to be on both sides of the streets. They put up new signs, but only on one side of the street, and took the signs that were on both sides of the street, took the one on the opposite side off. I'm not sure, what their reasoning behind, the method behind the madness, so to speak, that is the transportation engineering, but that is their thing.
Another situation, the pole was broke the other day there.
Yes, truck hit the pole.
That tree right there, it's gonna fall across the street. I don't know if it's KU's or city's fault.
So the
hanging wheel.
The tree, Rick, you might be able to speak to this too. I believe the tree's on that private property. It would be the responsibility of the property owner, but we can definitely look into trying to push them towards something.
Somebody get killed there very easily.
The trees that's on private property, I can talk to the owners of the property, but anything that may be hanging over the roadway, we can take care of, we can cut it back at least.
Yeah.
Maybe request the state to take that bush hog tractor or something through.
Not gonna look at it.
Laura, come on up, ma'am.
Hello.
Welcome.
You. First of all, I wanted to say thank you to the City Council for allowing us to close off our quadrant for our summer reading kickoff. We had a good turnout, and everybody had a lot of fun, and we're having a very successful summer reading program. But the issue I was coming to talk to you about tonight, and I've been talking to Mayor Gaffney about, the library received 3 free little libraries through a grant from the Garrett Lincoln Early Childhood Council. So I don't know if you're not familiar with what a little free library is. It's this. Looks like a little mailbox. It's on a stand. It's probably about 5 feet tall, so about my size. And then this was the back. We had the Story Hour children put their handprints on it this week. Awesome. So if you want to look at those, ignore my. We've kind of got summer reading detritus behind it, but as part of the grant, we want to put them in various places in the county, and one of the places we would like to put one of them is at the J.C.'s ballpark, where the pavilion is. I was going to put it out in the open, but then we had the monsoon a couple weeks ago, and I rethought that plan. I hope to have these up by the end of the month. So, like I said, I've been speaking to Mayor Gaffney about it, and he may have some thoughts. So. Right.
Yeah, we met out at the ballpark, and I told her I thought it was a wonderful idea. I mean, we have a lot of kids out there, not just for ball games and things of that nature, but there's a lot of kids and parents and families that go out there during the day, especially during the summertime. And I think it's a wonderful idea that we can utilize. And correct me if I misspeak, but she let me know that they would keep this stocked with books and things of that nature.
And it's a take a book. People can leave books if they have books at home that they don't want anymore. We will keep mostly children's books in there, some chapter books, some picture books, but also some paperbacks for teens and adults. So, if you're at the ball game and you're waiting on your kid's game and you don't have anything else to do, you can pick up a paperback and read it. We get enough donations and purchase books through discount companies that we can keep it filled, and we will also take any responsibility for it. Our bookmobile librarian will be checking it on a regular basis to make sure it's, in good shape, and everything's good with it. So I'm very excited. We're going to put the other one, 2 more. We're going to put one at what was Solidago in Paint Lick. They're doing an event space there, and we're putting the other one at Natalie's Cafe in Bryanteville.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we should have these done by the end of the month. Summer reading's kind of slowed me down, but
understandable.
Yeah,
understandable.
It's gotten kind of crazy. So.
Yeah, that's great. I think it's a great idea. I mean,
You need a motion for that?
Not specifically. I mean, it's something that they're doing and providing. But if you all would like to make a motion just to approve that happening, then that's fine as well. Yeah. But I think it's great. we can help keep an eye on it too and see if it happens to
Yeah.
be low, we can let y'all know. But
I think, you know, his problem,
I think it'd be great with the amount of people that are always out there at the ballpark.
so we're really excited about it. So, all right.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you coming.
Question. We did not know that we were supposed to sign up in order to be able to speak.
You don't have to sign up.
Okay, great.
So now, I knew they were coming. So now we're still in the public comment section, so anybody is able to speak. So if anybody would like to come up and speak, you're more than welcome to.
Short and sweet. Hi, my name is Ruth Wheeler. I'm a newly transplanted Lancaster person. I moved here about 2 years ago, and I have found a community that I really love. I'm surrounded by people that care for each other in a way I haven't seen in 40 years. I'd like to keep it that way. My concern is that we get a moratorium, a solid moratorium passed quickly, and that it's for as long as is legally feasible. When I first moved here, my friends got tickled at me all the time because I commented on how fresh the air was here, how cool it was, how I felt welcomed into the community. When I drive to Nicholasville, within about a mile after I cross the river, it's hotter. I'm sorry to anybody that lives in Nicholasville, but it smells bad. The closer you get to Lexington, it's even hotter, and it smells worse, okay? We have something special here. We have something very special here. And I'm asking you, I'm strongly pleading with you to get the moratorium passed.
Thank you. Anybody else here for public comment this evening? Yes, ma'am. Please give us your name.
Sure. Beth Carlin.
Hey. Welcome, Beth.
Thank you. Appreciate your time this evening. Again, my name is Beth, and I am a resident of this community, and I support a moratorium on the data centers, if not a total rejection of them. All right. To start off very transparent, I believe Lancaster deserves the time to determine whether this type of industrial development is truly in the best interest of our citizens and the community at large. People choose to live here because of our farmland, our open spaces, quiet neighborhoods, the small town feel that we have. Once those things are changed, we can't get them back. Once prime farmland is converted to industrial use, it is rarely returned to agricultural. While clean water is a shared resource that residents, farmers, and future generations depend on. While data centers may promise investment, they typically provide relatively few permanent jobs after initial construction is complete. We shouldn't trade the character of our community for a development that may offer limited long-term employment. Before any decision is made, I believe residents deserve clear answers about impacts on infrastructure, utilities, emergency services, agricultural, environment, and future growth. We should not rush into a decision that could affect Lancaster for decades. I respectfully ask you to support the moratorium and protect our community while a thorough, transparent review is completed. The review should answer in detail our following questions. How much water will the facility use on an average day and at peak demand? Where will the water come from? Has an independent study evaluated impacts on wells, farms, and future water availability? How many acres of farmland will be permanently converted? What is the expected number of permanent full-time jobs? Who pays for the upgrades to roads, water lines, sewer, and electrical infrastructure? What protections are in place if water shortages occur? And has an environmental impact study been completed? Those are factual, project-specific questions that encourage transparency. If you cannot answer these questions in full, then seek alternatives. And there are alternatives that exist. One is called edge computing. Instead of sending data thousands of miles to giant centralized warehouses, edge computing processes data locally. From there, you can have distributed and decentralized cloud networks. Instead of relying on a single tech giant like an Amazon or a Google, decentralized networks actually crowdsource unused computing power from around the world. You can also use what's called space-based data centers, which is something up and coming, where a growing number of aerospace and tech startups are launching small server satellites in low Earth orbit. And what happens in space is it adds to a natural current cooling environment where we don't have to worry about agricultural impact and environment impact. You can also do on-premises for individual companies, which would be an internal infrastructure that companies do. It's what they do now. They have backup supplies and all that. So we don't need to have these massive acreages taken up. You can actually centralize it. And what I'll do is I'll end on this and what we know about data centers. They drive up local utility bills. The job creation promise is a myth. They centralize power and they create monopolies by forcing all computing into giant centralized facilities owned by 3 or 4 hyperscale tech monopolies. Much of the data, again, much of the data being processed is wasteful. A significant percentage of data center expansion is not detected to saving lives, handling banking, or running hospital. It's built to handle speculative AI projects, ad tracking algorithms, and massive video storage. They also destabilize the green energy transition, and air quality and local toxins and global emissions advance and accelerate at a higher rate. And then lastly, you have this local quality of life degrades. They have seen that and witnessed it now with these massive centers with the humming that has disrupted much of animal and human life and the integrity of that. We owe it to this community to really look at a moratorium as far as we can, if not reject it completely based on just infrastructure. So when you make these decisions, I ask you to think of you and your families as well as ours. And I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Ann Emerson. I also wanted to address the potential moratorium on data centers. My first thoughts are our life-giving resources are limited. And if you have no farms, you have no food. If you have no water, you have no life. The current number of data centers in the U.S. compared to other countries as of 2026. United States, 5,427. The next highest is Germany at 529. China has 449, Russia 251. The noise that these facilities create is a constant hum of high and low pitches that can be audible to neighboring residents and wildlife. Data centers generate noise levels that may exceed 90 decibels. Noise levels above 85 are harmful to hearing. The Garrett County Noise Ordinance from Article 2. It is the policy of the County of Garrett to prevent, prohibit, and provide for abatement of excessive and unnecessary noise which may injure the health or welfare of its citizens or degrade the quality of life. Kentucky Revised Statutes establishes the right of people to an environment free from excessive and unnecessary sound that may jeopardize human health or welfare or may substantially degrade the quality of life. These facilities require all-night lighting, which disrupts the natural circadian rhythms of the body. They also distribute wildlife migration patterns. These facilities expel vast quantities of heat into the environment, raising local land temperatures and altering downwind neighborhood climates. Data centers emit significant pollutants such as nitrogen oxides, methane, volatile organic compounds, and fine particulate matters. These pollutants increase rates of respiratory diseases, cardiovascular conditions, and elevate cancer risks in nearby communities. A large data center can use up to 5 million gallons of water daily. Drawing from local water supplies, these facilities consume resources that should be available to residents and farms. Those who live near these data centers are currently documenting water that is unfit to drink, cook or bathe in, and have little to no water pressure. These data centers also identify as large load customers and typically have not paid their fair share in utilities. Since 2020, there's been a 37% increase in consumer energy costs. These centers are a strain to existing infrastructure, as well as community support services such as police and fire. By 2030, AI is projected to displace between 85 and 92 million jobs globally. 10.4 million of those will be in the United States. Nationally, hundreds of thousands of acres of agricultural land have been sold, acquired through eminent domain, or zoned to be paved over for data centers. My question is, why is there such a sudden rush to build so many in the United States? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else here for public comment this evening? Okay. If the council's okay with it, if you all will allow me to change up the agenda a little bit, since we do have a good collection of folks here about data center specific topic tonight. If you look down on old business number 3, the data center resolution, that's in your packet. That is the moratorium that we discussed in June. I have updated it, and what this would do is, like we discussed prior to, this would give us at a minimum till the end of December 31st, in order to evaluate all options, get with planning and zoning, get with environmentalists, do all the research that needs to be done in order to come to a conclusion on what the citizens of Lancaster thinks is best for our community. So my recommendation tonight would be that the council pass this moratorium or this resolution number 2026-7 to allow us the allotted time in order to make sure we make the most educated decision for our future when it is in regard to data centers.
Is 6 months enough time?
I'm in perfect agreement with it. I think we need to pass it, make the motion. Did you make the motion?
No, I said is 6 months enough time?
Well, that was one of my questions, but, you know.
Yeah, so that, to me, that gives us a good amount of time to, because there's more and more research coming out every day, regardless of which side of the aisle someone may be on. I know the state's looking at some stuff. I think federally they're looking at some stuff. This would get us to the end of the year, and then from a legality perspective, there is going to be some case law about this because there has already been some lawsuits and stuff filed in other areas in the state of Kentucky. So this would give us the opportunity to look at it further, and if Jonathan wants to speak to that as well, there would be an opportunity by, I'm assuming at the end of the year, if we needed more time, that this moratorium could be increased, extended, yes.
There's a lawsuit filed on June 9th, or July 9th.
We can't hear you.
There's a lawsuit filed a few weeks ago in which a company is challenging a city's moratorium on data centers. So we're going to find out what the Kentucky courts, they say that's allowed or not. So that'll be important for all the cities to know as to how the courts are interpreting this. And obviously, we'll go to the court, then the Court of Appeals, and probably the Supreme Court. So the answers may change. But I think 6 months is appropriate. I think probably the city that this lawsuit was involved with did a 12-month one that probably had something to do with it being a longer time frame. So I think that 6 months would be appropriate, and hopefully give us time to see what the courts say.
Has there been a court ruling on just an outright ban?
Not that I'm aware.
No.
Not that you're aware of?
The state and federally, there's nothing to outright ban it. So this would get us to the end of the year, and then when we get closer to that point in time, if more time is needed, then based on case law and things of that nature, there probably would be a situation in which it could be extended if needed.
I don't need any time. I can tell you now that I'm against it, period. But
so is there any discussion, or is there a motion on the table on this moratorium?
The motion that we approve it.
There's a motion on the table to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor? Opposed?
Nay.
Roll call, please, Teresa, just so it's in the minutes.
Zach Howard,
Yes.
Joe Neighbor,
Yes.
Michelle Lee,
I want to, so we're voting for 6 months,
For
correct?
the moratorium,
Yes, yes. Michael Wade?
Yes.
Brenda McClung?
Nay.
Marshall Morton?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you all. All right. Again, I appreciate all y'all being here this evening. You're more than welcome to hang out for the rest of the meeting, or if you don't want to, we won't take any offense to it. No worries at all. So if you, again, you can stay, or if you choose to leave, that's fine. But thank you again for being here. We'll give them just a minute to clear out.
Thank you.
All right, if we could have attention back up here. So we'll move on now to director reports. So we'll move into maintenance. Stacy, if you don't mind.
I apologize for interrupting. We're just having a discussion. Who was the nay vote, if I may ask? The nay on the moratorium?
I would have full denial.
Okay, thank you. We were a little confused, and I appreciate that. We wouldn't want it. 6 months to, we don't have a study. All right, thank you so much.
All right, moving on down to director or department reports. Stacy, you want to come on up and talk to us a little bit tonight, sir?
I don't have a whole lot other than what you've got listed there under new business.
I did bring back up maintenance requests. I know we touched base on that 3-4 months ago. So I talked to Stacy a little bit about this today. My request, I know there was some pricing presented a few months back. That's probably changed by now.
Sure it's changed.
So my recommendation with that request there would be that the council gives Stacy the ability to look into all the options that we have for replacing a scraper salt truck, whether that be buy, lease, whether that be retrofitting something we already have, but just kind of giving him the ability to look at any and all options that we may have and be able to bring that back next month. 30 days should be enough time, I would think, to do that. Just that way we can make a better educated decision since we've had some time. I know interest rates have went down a little bit, depending on what you're looking at. Some other stuff has changed. Some stuff's went up. So,
Some stuff,
yeah.
Price change daily on almost everything.
Yeah.
Make a motion to give Stacy authority to investigate her options.
Okay.
Salt truck.
Is there a second on that? Second. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Anything else you want to tell us tonight?
Red meters today, we are now 24 meters past half, not working. All the batteries have died in them, so.
Yep. So that's, since you're up there, since if you look at new business number 1, Lancaster utility request, that's something I was going to bring up tonight. We are 1,800 and how many meters, Teresa?
1,906.
1,906 now.
Roughly.
So roughly 1,000 of them probably aren't reading. So I would like the council's approval to be able to look for options from a company perspective that could replace all of our meters for us. As we all know, last year there was a ordinance passed by the council for rate increases for water over the next 3 years. We had the first one go in last year. The next one will be coming up in the next month or so. That'll hit customers' billing. And when you have 1,000 meters that you're reading manually, there can be, I mean, there's an element of error when somebody's physically putting eyes on it. So I did put in there, in your all's packet that you all received last week, there is an option that we could get some very low interest rate funding on a project such as that, about 1%. And based on some rough numbers that I got last year when we submitted for a grant that we unfortunately didn't get, we're probably looking at a project somewhere between $750,000 and $900,000 in order to do that. That would be replacing the meters, getting them installed, But what this would be is they'd be cellular meters, so everything automatically transmits back to the computer. There would be no manual reading.
No manual reading, depends on which company you go with. We've got two we're testing now. One reads 4 times a day, the other one reads twice a day.
Yeah.
That's the sheet on the KIA.
That is the sheet on the KIA, yes. So the Fund F, if you looked at the disadvantaged communities, basically what that looks like is a median income under a certain amount, you can get a 1% interest rate on that funding. Of course, we would have to go through that process if you all chose to do that. But I think at the point we're at with the amount of meters that aren't reading, and of course the human element of error that can occur, I will say too that if someone does get their bill and they think that it's not right, just call up City Hall. The girls are more than willing to look into it, send Dale or Stacy or somebody out to possibly reread that meter, because we all do make mistakes and sometimes we misplace a number or read it incorrectly. But I would recommend that. But I would ask the council's permission or approval, if you are okay with doing that, to look at options, see what kind of vendors we may have. Because it would be a kind of a twofold scenario where you would have a meter vendor and then you would have an installation vendor, because Stacy and Dale can't do this themselves. They're still telling how many years it would take you all, the two of you, to put these in.
We started in 2008 and it took till late 2012, and at that time we had up to 7 employees. That's when they got rid of the garbage. We had some garbage employees that helped for a while, and we just had a lot of extra help at the time. Do not have now.
Would this be for all 1,900?
It would be replacing all the meters, yes, sir, and all of them, regardless of company, they would be cellular based, so they can transmit once a day, they can transmit twice a day. They do it cellularly, so you get a bucket of data, basically, is how that works. Each company is a little bit different, but it would transmit back to the computer.
Different things you can pull up on your phone or computer that shows your data usage.
Yeah, so of the meters that read, Stacy spends about a day going around and driving by all the meters, and then of those that don't read, we have a couple of different people that go out and read the remainder 1,000 or however many it may be. And then with
10 days, depending on the weather.
Yeah, and then a couple times we'll have to go reread them again, and sometimes multiple times reread them just because something's not right. And I think from a utility perspective, with how we ended last year and some of the things coming, I think this would be one of the biggest things we could do for the water company, as far as being able to allocate some funding to do that, to where it would make it easier on everyone, basically. And the customer would be able to go in and look at their usage as well. They wouldn't just wait for their bill to come. They would actually be able to see their daily usage. And it's kind of cool because it'll show today if your toilet flushed, or if you took a 20-minute shower, or if you used your washing machine, it actually picks that up and will show you on graphs how much water you use day by day. So I think that's kind of neat, but some people may not, but it would allow the customer to track that as needed or wanted.
What do you need a motion for?
Just to be able to look for, basically find options and bring back to you all.
I move to allow the mayor to explore options for the Lancaster utility request.
Is there a second? Second by Joe. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all. Anything else, Stacy?
That's all I have. Unless you have any questions.
So you're exploring options, but are you also seeing if you find any funding?
I would be exploring options as far as pricing, and then once we get that back.
One company
then
I've
we
talked
can
to,
look
they
at
offer some
funding.
financing, but I've not got into no details with him yet. I mean, I can call him and talk to him.
If you all wanna amend that and add also funding options, I would be okay with doing them simultaneously, but it's.
Close to KIA 1%.
Yeah, the KIA one, it's gonna be the best scenario from an interest rate perspective, and it's one we've used prior in years past, but however you all want to do it.
I'm fine, I just asked.
Yeah, that's fine. If you all would
He
like.
has mentioned they have funding options. I said I'm not, until we get a little further down the line, I've not got into detail with him, but.
Yeah.
Be open to funding ready to bid on this.
Mm-hmm. Any company would be able to submit.
I'll amend to allow for the mayor to look at the funding options.
as well? Okay.
Everything I've seen is hard to beat that 1% KIA law, so.
Okay, is there a second on the amendment to that? Second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all. Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it. Chief Hughes.
Evening, council. There in front of you, you will see the regular activity report for the month of June for the Lancaster Police Department. In the month of June, we responded to or self-initiated 679 calls for service, representing a 7.6% decrease from the month of May. A few of those interesting things there are highlighted. This is one of the first months in a long time we've been under 10 vehicle accidents reported in the city. Now, that doesn't account for fender benders and parking lots and whatnot, but ones that fire department and us are dispatched to and things of that nature. 8 sexual abuse cases, 33 arrests, 3 gun seizures, 30 citations, totaling 63 total charges and 52 felony criminal case reports. Over the next few pages, you'll see the consolidated count generated by the dispatch center there. Thank you, sir. Always appreciate that. I'm going to brag on you here in a minute, so you got that coming. All right. Any questions or anything about the regular report? A few interesting things, a couple of them really from the first of this month, really. I'll start with today. We had a visitor here at City Hall. The nephew of Mayor Moss stopped by from Florida, I believe he said, and took some pictures and talked. Very interesting gentleman. It's nice talking with him. I want to brag on Chief Whited with the fire department initiating or hosting peer support group mental health for first responders project. It was a great turnout there. I had to leave at the last minute and pick up my daughter. Fortunately, matter of fact, I met Joe on my way out, on his way there. But great things moving there. Also want to brag on him on the 4th of July. Also, my kids had a great time watching the fireworks up at the fairgrounds, just like we always have. With that, I'll mention too that, or to remind you all, the weekend after this coming is the Shop with Baseball tournament, baseball and softball. So I'd love to see any of you all out there interacting with kids.
What day is that?
Next Saturday. 18th. Yep, Saturday the 18th.
18th, Michelle.
Yep.
What time does that start?
Josh, what time does it start?
6 in the morning. 6 in the morning. I wish.
So we're serving concessions, and the police department's doing all the processing there. So just want to remind everybody of that. And any questions on those things, and I'll tell you some sad news after that. All right. For those that may not know or haven't heard, at the end of this past month, we lost one of our canines after a brief illness. Vet believed that it was very likely a heart attack. It was an 8-year-old Malinois. His partner was Jeremy Smith. That hit the whole department pretty hard, and particularly Jeremy really hard. We're planning a memorial for the dog with a homecoming. We're just waiting on the dog's remains. Were sent off to be cremated by a third party. So just wanted to let you all know about that. The really sad thing, and almost like every 1980s cop movie, he was literally a few weeks from retirement. We had already planned the retirement. His replacement has been put in service with Noah Allen, also at no cost to the city. So it was a thing. So any questions or anything for me?
Where do we stand on victims advocates and body cams? Any movement on that?
No movement on either in any tangible amount. I did, since last time you and I spoke, reach out for some updated quotes for data storage and that sort of thing. So we'll see what comes back and what we're able to do.
That's great.
Yep,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thanks, Chief. Chief Whited.
Afternoon. In your packet, you'll see 47 calls for services a month. We had 2 structure fires, both on Cave Springs, which is odd, but both on Cave Springs, just down the street from each other. We were at the first one pretty quick. They had some significant smoke damage, but the fire was contained to one room. The second one, they dispatched us to assist EMS and then dispatched the run right behind it. So Chief Prather arrived on scene, had smoke pushing from the eaves. The crew from the EMS run made that run along with a bunch of other people because came in as a fire. And we contained it to bathroom attic. Yeah, bathroom in the hallway. So both fires went really well and saved the structures, saved the house. So they're both very livable structures. We had 4 trainings this month. We did some rope rescue, some rappelling, some patient packaging as it pertains to rope rescue and Stokes basket and things like that. Vehicle extrication, stabilization for vehicles on their sides, vehicles on their top, so that you could extricate, make it safe for the patient and the rescuers. And then PTSD awareness, the cookout that Chief brought up a minute ago. We had that. Had 3 members pass EMT class from Garrett County EMS, and 2 of those have passed their national registry and are EMTs right now. One will be testing very soon. Had 3 events: the demo derby, had a block party at Lancaster Baptist, and then we had the cookout. Ended up with about 45 people at the cookout, and hopefully it's the infancy. I'll tell you all a little bit about it. It's PTSD Awareness Month, and regardless of what agency you're with, whether it's the fire service, police department, EMS, whatever, you see and do a lot of things. In the last 30 years, I've seen and done a lot of things that I should not have seen and done. That's the nature of the beast. It's the business I got into, the business Joe got into, the business Chief got into, and we see and do a lot of things, but those things change you. I'm a different person than I was 30 years ago. So when Brenda Cowan got killed, I rode with Brenda until 2 weeks before that happened in Lexington. Very close friend. And they brought the debriefing team in for the state, and I was like, I don't know who you are. I'm not telling you a thing. I'm not gonna, as a 22-year-old, I know everything young fireman, I wasn't about to spill my feelings to somebody I didn't even know. So I'm, like I said, I'm a whole lot different. I feel a lot different about it now, being much older and no less than I did when I was 22. So I feel a lot different about that stuff. So we do that some in Lexington. Anytime you make a significant run, then you sit in a room like this and just hang out and just talk about whatever. And sometimes that bleeds over to other things, and sometimes there's tears, and sometimes everybody gets up and just makes jokes and goes on. But you get to sit down and talk about whatever it is. So that's kind of where we're at with this. And I've been thinking about it. I had a member approach me and say that she would like to do something like that. I'm like, well, you're in luck, because I would like to do the same thing. So that's what we got was the cookout, because I figured food would bring everybody together in a place that we could talk to them. And then once they came for the food, I proposed this, that every department, regardless of what it was, the police officers, the sheriff's department, EMS, all the fire departments, get with the chiefs and decide if they had anybody that was interested, and put 2 or 3 together from every department, and then get some training on it, because there's several different ways you can train on it. A few different agencies do certification trainings and stuff that can help you learn how to listen and stuff. So hopefully in the near future we'll have a local team that when something happens, that somebody you know will be able to sit down and just listen to you, and they know where you've been and what you've done, and they've been through similar things. So hopefully we'll have a team here that can sit down and just listen to somebody if they've got some issues. And then in the next month, which was Saturday, we did the fireworks. Everybody knows that. So that was a good time. That's all I've got. Any questions?
It was great to see the tough guys and gals talking about the fact that it's okay to not be okay. And I really commend you on that. And I see great things coming forward from that. That was just excellent to see, because mental health is community health, and what you're doing for the community, I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes.
I missed Rick. Rick, if you don't mind to come up and just kind of share. I didn't have you on the agenda, so that's my mistake. Just kind of give us a little bit update from an ordinance perspective, because I know you've been a busy man.
I got the exciting stuff now.
You do, absolutely.
But before I do this, I want to commend the work for mental health and PTSD. I started in 1988. It was a terrible time. You talk about it.
Correct.
You would shoot yourself in the foot before you admitted to the fact that something bothered you.
Or somewhere else?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to bring that up. I'm a different person. I wouldn't have had these things. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. Let me see if I can get logged on here, and I'll give you some things that's going on. Month of June, right now, it looks like I have some unassigned cases, 14 or 15 of them. I've been working on junk, grass and weeds, trash and rubbish. I'm staying busy trying to get the grass taken care of. I know it looks like I'm slow on a few things, but I have a process I have to go through before we get to the point that we can start finding and getting someone to come in. I will say that I have shifted a little bit, not only from the grass and junk, but trying to get property lines straightened up too. Tree lines are fine, but we need to get the undergrowth and grass cut back off the property lines. It looks trashy, it looks bad. So we're working on that. As we stand right now for the month of June, I had 10 cases of grass and weeds that was cited. That's not counting the ones I talked to, and they just went ahead and took care of it. Same way with the junk, I have 4 cases for it. I want to go back to the business licensing and get our internet to pop up here. As far as business licenses, and I want to tell you, I appreciate this program y'all got me. It is great, and I've only learned a third of it so far, but it is the best at tracking. We have brought in from the time that we first implemented this, not counting what we did by hand before we got this program, somewhere around $6,000 in business licenses this year. You have any questions about what's going on?
I know 3 months ago we brought up 113 Pine Hill.
We are still working on that. I think that's actually in the attorney's hands right now.
They got the information on it. I'll speak with Mr. Lane, make sure we're going to do with planning zoning. And I'll be honest, probably not will happen a lot this month. So just got something I've got to do, but in the August stuff we'll have something much more.
So that does bring us to another, talking about houses. I have a few houses that's already on the blighted property. I'll be bringing back to the planning and zoning. I also have a couple of houses that needs to be put on blighted property, and I have one building that I have listed as an unsafe structure. We have a fence down, give open access to the swimming pool in the back, and no one is living in this house other than our transient community. They're going in and out, they're destroying the inside of this place. It's the big white stucco at 113 Stanford Street, 213 Stanford Street, right next to the old car lot that used to be there at the church. It's right there.
Go to Cox House. Go to Cox House.
Yes. So we can't keep them out. They're going in there and they're tearing the place down. It's a mess. And my big concern is I can't get anybody to come in and take care of it or secure the building. There is a privacy fence for the pool, but it's torn down. It's got open access, it's got cattails growing, it's got a cover over the pool itself. It's got cattails growing over that. I'm scared we're going to get a kid back there. And it's not going to work out well, I'm afraid. So I'll be bringing that to the Planning and Zoning Committee too, so we may be revisiting all this after I've talked to them. Any questions?
Thank you, Rick. Appreciate everything you're doing. All right, moving on down to Parks and Rec. We do have football registration open currently. For those that may not be aware that I've not had a chance to speak to yet, our park director did resign his position. He got an opportunity to go back to a previous job that I will say I probably wouldn't have said no to either. Plus, luckily for him, he's expecting twins in a few months. So he did what he thought was best for his family, and I applaud him for doing that. So we will be looking for a new park director in the coming weeks and month. Of course, our park board will be fully engaged in making sure that registrations still open and things of that nature. I know Josh was out there working today, getting some stuff ready for their tournament next weekend, which we will be more than ready for that. But anybody have any questions about Parks and Rec before we move on? No? Okay, we'll move on down to old business. City Hall, Mr. Baker, do you have an update for the council on where we kind of stand with that today?
I spoke with Representative Mr. Wilson. Actually, I called him this morning as a follow-up. He said that he met with him and they're getting us something in writing. He said he's going to pay it to us this week.
So as soon as we get that, I will pass it along to the council, and if something happens and we need to have some type of meeting or something between now and the next month, we can absolutely do that. Number 2 on old business, last month at the first meeting, Mr. Tim Scott was here, our building inspector, and in your packet you will find an amendment to Article 5 of our zoning ordinance. Basically, that's just in writing what you all made the first motion on, and that was adopting the 2018 International Building Code, the 2018 International Existing Building Code, and the 2018 International Residential Code, which the International Building Code we have on site. The other 2 are coming in the mail within the next day or 2. We ordered those last week to get those here so that we have them on site in case anybody needs to look at any of those. But my ask is that we approve this amendment to our planning and zoning Article 5 ordinance.
I'll make a motion.
All right.
We approve.
So motion, is there a second? Second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all. All right, we did number 2, we did number 3. All right, JC's Ballpark. So the last little bit, we've kind of been looking at some options as far as if we wanted to do this light project. So in your papers, again, in this packet, there were 4 options. And then also in your packet, I did give you what I had Thursday, which was from the KLC Bond Council as far as what their funding mechanism is. I would like to ask the council for any discussion tonight on the project. I do have a recommendation I would like to make, but I would like to see if council has any discussion beforehand on either the 4 vendors or the project as a whole. Any discussion there from any council member?
We haven't actually approved that we're going to do this, right?
We have not approved to do it, no. That's where the recommendation would come in at. But I just want to see if y'all had any discussion before that.
I mean, I think it's going to be a burden on the people, you know. That's what, about $80,000 a year. I think these are the cheapest one, you know, on a 10-year, it's right at $700,000, you know. That's on the cheapest one, you know. So,
yeah, that's on the 10-year. There's also the 15 and 20-year option on that specific debt service projection, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're putting an unfair burden upon the residents and taxpayers of the city. You know, and I'm for kids. I know people think I'm not, but yeah, you know, it's, once again, that's quite a bit of money for the city to come up with over, you know, a 10-year period.
It is, but in my opinion, they gotta come down anyway. If we're gonna come down, we might as well do the work to put them back up. That's the way I see it.
Any other discussion?
Well, you know, I think it's important, but it is scary. And then we just, decided to look at another $750,000 to $900,000 for meters.
From the water department, yeah.
I mean, we're putting a big tax burden on the people. I mean, we're gonna have to have extra revenue for the lights, extra revenue for the meters. I mean,
Well,
we're-
they're separate, so you
Yeah,
got.
I know they come out of.
They come out of separate
budget
funds.
and general fund,
Yeah.
but the public has to pay for that. That's come on.
They do, which is why I went on and built them into the budget. That was approved contingent on you all approving the project.
I mean, I just feel like it's an extra burden upon the people.
Any other discussion?
I tend to lean with what Brandon said, you know, I think something has to be done one way or the other. And if you take them down, what option do you have other than just either go no lights or?
Yeah, instead of half lights.
Yeah. I don't think no lights is an
Quarter
option.
lights.
I think that you have to look at actually
Yeah.
putting it back up.
Why are we taking them down?
Because they're unsafe. They don't work and they're
They're about
unsafe.
to rot.
The Mainfield ballpark, take your hammer out there tomorrow, hammer test the bottom of them poles, and go up 10 feet and do it again. And that'll explain everything you need to know about them poles. They're rotten.
So you've probably seen KU going around, or KU third-party vendor
Osmos.
going around. They're drilling into all their light poles, and some of them, they're putting a pink tag around. What they're doing is they're taking a core out of it, sampling it, and if it's not good, they're putting a yellow or a pink tag around it. It means it has to be replaced. So if you were out there when we took that last scoreboard down on the middle field, when they cut them posts off of the ground, they fell and they just split apart. The whole entire inside of them was hollow. It's the same poles from the same time that the lights are hanging on now. So regardless, those poles and lights have to come down because they're a safety issue, because now we're aware of it. So if something happens, we're, kind of in a real bad situation. And I know it's something outside the norm that we have done in the past, but I also think it's something that for us to continue to grow our program, not just our youth program or our kid program, but also access to adult type things as well, softball and some different things that we can do. I think it's, again, like I've said before, one of the bigger investments that we can do into our community, along with the water meters. But from our recreational programming, I think it's one of the biggest, most important things we can do to continue growing our community, because our community is going to continue to grow. We want to keep our people and our families here, playing sports here, so that they go to our schools. And I think this would be a great investment in doing so. So my recommendation, and you all can do with this as you wish, of the 4 vendors, my recommendation would be that the council goes with Origin Electric. Their base bid was $500,000, but they also gave us some options. And I would recommend, if that was the route you all wanted to go, on page 5 of their, what they submitted, they gave 3 alternatives. One was security fixtures, one was control link controls, and one was 25-year warranty upgrade. I would recommend we include alternative 1 and 3. That would make it $538,900. That includes a 25-year warranty. That's parts and labor. So if a light goes out, they're going to send somebody, they're going to replace the light, no cost to the city, for 25 years. And then the security fixtures, that was an option that they suggested, and that's adding security lights about, I don't know if you've been out to the new high school facilities, but about a third or halfway up their lights on the backside, they've got some more low-level lighting, and this was 8 to 10 security lights around the park, to where at nighttime, and Chief just had to step out, I think, but at nighttime, these would automatically come on, and it would put lighting around the ballpark for safety reasons. You know, if you're at ball games and you turn the lights out, sometimes it gets completely dark. This will allow some lighting to be able to get to your vehicles, but also, you know, the wee hours of the morning, making sure that there's not things going on out there that shouldn't be going on. But that would be my recommendation if you all were to choose to move forward. Any discussion on that?
On the origin, I know we've talked about 16 posts, 4 posts each lot. They're saying 15 posts.
They're going to use on the lower baseball field, the one that's to the left of the concession stand, they're going to double side it to where it gets the far side of the football field. And that saves $10,000, $12,000 probably on the installation of pole cost.
With all due respect, Marshall, I understand the taxpayer burden, but the taxpayers pay us to be good stewards of their money. And I believe that putting this money back towards the children is being good stewards, so I'd like to make a motion to accept Origin Electric, the bid from Origin Electric.
Was that based on my recommendation with the 2 options, or was that just, okay?
Do it for the 2 options.
So with alternate 1, alternate 3, just so,
Yes.
okay.
Which the other option was phase 3 construction?
There was 4 options.
But which was your 2 that you?
I just gave 1. One recommendation with 2 options, included option 1 and option 3 with the security fixtures and the 25-year warranty. Yeah. There's a motion on the table. Is there a second?
A second.
There's a second. Any further discussion?
Roll call.
Roll call, please, Teresa.
Zach Howard,
Yes.
Joe Malin,
Yes.
Michelle Bloom,
I mean, yes.
Michael Wade,
Yes.
Brandon McClellan,
Yes.
Michael Norton,
No.
Motion carries. Thank you all. In that same breath, this, just for your alls, I don't expect anything to be done on this tonight. But on Thursday, when the packet went out, I did include the KLC Kentucky Bond Corp breakdown as far as what they offer, 10, 15, 20-year terms. And at the top, you can see, based on project cost, that's what the amortization rate looks like. We did also get, after the packet went out, 3 local banks did reply to our request, and those were included in your packet this evening. So I know you've not had a chance to look at those, but I messed up my date. Instead of having them due on Thursday, I had them due on Friday, and of course, we sent the packets out on Thursday, and Teresa and I got those in your packet this evening. So I know you haven't had a chance to look at them, but those 3 did put in a request as far as how they could fund the project. So my recommendation there would be to look at these 4 options, give you all time to look at them, and then from a funding perspective, possibly look at that. If we end up having to do something with one of those properties later this month, or bring it back August and look at those funding options, if that's okay with you all. And just as a reminder that whatever that funding option is, of course, we will do that by an ordinance, so that will take 2 readings in and of itself. But in the past, we've used, in coordination with our city attorney, we've used Dinsmore, who partners with KLC, regardless of who the funding mechanism is for that. So is that good with the council? Would y'all like to have time to look over it and bring that back next meeting? Okay, that's perfectly fine. So then we'll move on down. So number 3, fiscal year 2027 LARP program. I've got some stuff for 2026 and then also a request for 2027. If you look in your packet, there was a resolution. It looks like this. It just says Lancaster City Council on the top. So just as a reminder, the state allocated us roughly $181,000 to blacktop those 5 streets that you all approved to do a few months back. So what this resolution does is it allows me to sign this memorandum of agreement, basically, that's in here. So I would request that you all approve the resolution and also approve me signing the LARP FD 14 funds is what it says on the top. Signing that so we can get that back to the state, because the Allen Company are ready to move on that as soon as we are. Any questions about that before I go on to the 2027 LARP request?
Do we do this separate?
I think you can do it separately. Okay, yep, that's fine. So the resolution first, and then we can do the approval to sign the MOA secondary.
Okay. Make a motion to approve the resolution adopting the memorandum of agreement for Commonwealth, Kentucky for Crab Orchard Street, Island Avenue, our drive, Outlet Drive, and Martin Luther King Jr.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And then do I have a motion to allow me to sign the MOA agreement for the LARP FD 14 funds?
Make a motion.
Motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all. And then for fiscal year 2027, I just request the council give me approval to work with Bluegrass Ad to submit these roads, this 2026-2027 road request sheet that I put in your packet, to see if we can get funding for them for next year. So that's Dan Turner, Miles Drive, South Paulding, North Paulding, York Street, Maplewood, and Pin Oak. So those were the ones we submitted last year that they didn't score high enough on there. So resubmit those, and if there's any roads that you all can think of that are not there, if you all can let me know this week, I could add those too. But I just need approval, if you're okay with it, for me to submit in coordination with Bluegrass Ad to the fiscal year 2027 LARP program to request funding.
I make a motion, we approve.
So just because it's not on there tonight, we can still add it this week?
We can, yes.
All right.
We can add it up until it's submitted.
Okay.
So basically long story short, what we do, any of the roads, every 300 feet, we have to take pictures and then submit all that with the documentation. And then what they do, the legislator goes in and they rank every road.
Which we take a picture of Stanford Street right now, down from Go Time.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's disgusting.
But if you all find any other city streets that aren't on this list that you would like added, I have talked to the state specifically on some of those issues, Brandon. But if you all see any roads that aren't on here that you would like added, just let me know and we can get those added as well. But other than that, does anybody have any other discussion there, or do I hear a motion to approve?
I make a motion, we approve.
Okay. There's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Michelle. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all. All right, number 4, new business. If you all see in your packet as well, there is a map of Bethany Trace and Jen Way from the Garrett County PVA office. They have, as we discussed last month, they did put their second coat of blacktop on there. So my request, since they've done that, my request for the council will be that we make a motion to encumber that into the city. So what that would mean is moving forward, the city would scrape it, salt it, blacktop it if needed, fix potholes if needed, all those type things, just like any other city street, because they have added that second layer of blacktop there. And of course, it touches everything city. The only thing that isn't city is the street itself. So that would be my recommendation to the council, is that we do approve to pull Bethany Trace and Jen Way as a city street moving forward.
Was the street done up to code?
Yes, it is. It's got curb and gutter, and it's got the second coat of blacktop.
Make a motion. to accept it.
There's a motion by Joe, is there a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, thank you all. Chief White had already touched on the fireworks, but I thought it was a great show. Fire department did a wonderful job, and I appreciate all the first responders that are out there in case something happens. Luckily not, but I think, you know, the city and county going in on that fireworks show, I think it's been very phenomenal. Barbecue Festival, August 8th on the square. And I don't know that I've requested this yet, but just for good measure, can I get a motion by the council to approve closing the 4 quadrants on August 8th for the barbecue festival? No road closures, but just the 4 quadrants for August 8th. Motion by Michelle, is there a second?
What are the times?
It will be, they'll start setting up Friday night, but it'll be after all the business is closed. So just for safe measure, let's say 6 o'clock Saturday morning to midnight Saturday night.
What's the time of the actual festival?
It starts at 11 to 8, I believe. I will double check that and get the specifics to you if that's incorrect.
We had a second too, didn't we? I'm sorry.
Is there a motion? If there was, I missed it. Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Joe, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Thank you all. No executive session.
Are we having a citywide yard sale this
Yeah, it'll be, it's always the same dates as when the 127 yard sale is, which, do you know right off when that is? It's September, isn't it?
year? I always thought it was
Is it August?
Yes. What's the report on the lagoon?
The lagoon, so we're sending that out for bid, and as soon as we get those bids back, then probably by the August meeting, I'll have those bids back, and hopefully we get multiple this time, but those will be presented to you all at the August meeting.
August 6th through the 9th is the,
Citywide?
127?
127.
So August 6th to
The
9th.
same as the barbecue fest?
6th through 9th.
That would be nice.
Oh, for some reason, I was thinking it was September, but that's all good.
Thursday, August 6th through Sunday, August 9th.
Yep.
609-mile route.
Anything from the council we not discussed this evening? All right, do I hear a motion to pay the monthly signed bills?
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Do I have a motion to dismiss?
So moved.
I have a question, I just have a question. Everybody, this is my first meeting, can you just tell me who they are, like their names, so I know who I'm.
Yeah.
So you know who to vote?
Randy McLeod.
Randy, okay?
Michael Wade.
Okay.
Michelle Ballou.
Michael Gaffney.
Zach Howard. Marshall Norton.
Joe Naylor.
All right, great, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Motion dismiss.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank y'all.
Well, I've already put it on here, if you did,